Hi, this is Sharon and I'm with RE/MAX Power Pro. And today I was working with the seller and their house is currently on the market and they asked this question: when do we start packing? When do we start taking the house apart? And so the answer to that question is that when you're under contract, you can't start taking everything apart and start, whatever, because we've got to get past a couple of the contingencies on this contract. One of the first contingencies, of course, is that the buyer has to put their escrow deposit. Usually that takes place within the first couple of days. The next thing is that the buyer is going to do a home inspection. And oftentimes there's a 7 maybe to 10 day period of time where the buyer has the opportunity to cancel if they're not completely satisfied with the results of their inspection. So I would always tell a seller, you want to absolutely wait until you've gotten past that contingency, just because the buyer can cancel for any reason during that home inspection period. Then we also have the other contingency with the buyer getting not only the appraisal, but also their financing in place. And typically that's a 30-day window of time for the buyer to be able to cancel if they get denied for their loan. So, as a real estate agent, my team and I usually do a lot of follow-up with not only the other real estate agent to find out how things are going with the sale, but also with the buyer's lender to find out how are they doing. When are they ordering the appraisal? When is that loan approved? Because once that happens, once we're past the appraisal and the inspection and the buyer's loan approved, now you can really get down to the business of taking the house apart, start packing, start finalizing actually your moving plans. But until that time, anything is possible, and we've seen so many real estate transactions fall apart. In fact, last year, I ended up with a listing where the previous agent had told the owner to move. Literally, they had moved all of their furniture to Tampa. And guess what happened? The buyer did not get approved by the homeowners association. And so at the very last minute, they thought they were closing in a day or two, and everything came to a halt. And that transaction ended up getting canceled. And because the buyer didn't get approved and their sale was subject to the HOA approval, since they didn't get approved, the seller had no recourse as far as getting even the buyer's escrow deposit. So that was a pretty upset seller. And as a result of that, he fired that real estate agent, he hired me. Luckily, I helped him to get the house staged, got some amazing professional photography, and within the first 3 days, we were able to find a buyer that paid full price, actually $15,000 above what the previous contract was with the other agent. So in that case, it worked out pretty well. But I will tell you, until you have all of those contingencies taken care of, do not take the house apart. Just a quick tip. Sharon, RE/MAX Power Pro.